What is going on, guys? It's our night here, and what did you do at the Vegas Regional?
So I unfortunately got 11th.
Oh no.
But we'll get into that in a moment.
Say shout out Michael Simeon.
Who?
Shout out Michael Simeon, Thunder Dragon player, for being a nice guy.
Best Thunder Dragon player I played all day. I went from playing Pure, which didn't care about Thunder Dragon at all, to playing this version, which very much cared about Thunder Dragon because I search a lot. And
He searches a lot, and I didn't ash the tanky. That's why he beat me. I should have ashed the tanky.
And what deck did you play?
I played Lunalight Orcust.
Okay, let's get this.
So shout out to Stay Classy for having the best field centers. They're my boys. So I played 3 Kaleido, and I have these common ones because I came in today with Ultras, but because Blur exists and they're all foils, and is a cheaper foiling than normal, these are really warped, Konami. So I got a game loss. I lost game 1 against somebody that, I lost game 1 against somebody just because I messed up, but I was like, okay, I'll just go game 2 and 3 and be perfectly fine. We got deck checked. And then, God damn it, Joaquin. These got me deck checked and got me a game loss as well as my impermanence, but these were the main ones. The impermanence, they can only pick 2 out, but these ones, they can put the full thing out. So, 3 of these, it sends for cost, it's your best starter, it's the best card in the deck, it's insanity. 3 Tiger, this card should be once per turn. It's not, it should be. If it gets Ghost Ogred, you still summon, so there's not really much they can do to stop this play, aside from like DD Crow this, or somebody Bella'd this actually once, so I just returned it. And used it again. It's fine, it's a $4 common, who cares? So yeah, these two were fucking amazing. Language. Martin, so I played 2 because I didn't want to open it. I still opened it, but that's okay. If you end up sending it off of any of your foolish targets or off of a danger or anything, you end up searching the trap, and the trap is completely useless. But if you discard it for Mermaid, you can summon one from your deck to extend even further. And then obviously it's Zephyros, but you don't pay life points, and it gets banished. But if you overlay with it, you're golden. Or yellow. Dangers.
The staple.
They're absolutely staple. Yeah. These guarantee you a summon. You need summons. This, and then any guaranteed summon gets you the most disgusting board. Against most decks, you just kind of win. For Nightmare, or Orcust, I play 2 Nightmare, 2 Harp, 1 Skeleton, and 1 World Wand. Surprisingly, I kind of wanted to open these. Not necessarily all the time, but some of the time, which is why I'm playing 2, because they're very good to discard, because if your Mermaid gets stopped and you discard this or this, you're still able to full Orcust play. It's a little, like, sketchy, but it still gets you in there, and you're still perfectly fine to make up the board. And then, obviously, Symbol and World Wand, these just let you get in there so hard. Zephyros. I'm not going to play this anymore. I'm going to let you know, anyone who wants to play this deck, don't play this. Any game I lost was usually because I opened this.
Oh no.
The combo just isn't worth it. You're better off just going Nyarla than you are going into the Force Tricks. I realize that now. I just really like the Force Tricks play into like whatever. But if you, like I said, if you open the combo in an extender, it gets you the same thing, but you set up Nyarla into Azathoth and you don't have to play this brick of a card. 3 Ash Blossom. It's still the best hand trap. Shout out to my €1. I actually drew it less than the other 2, so.
Wow.
Your hardest matchup is Striker, and Striker really doesn't like this card, so I like this card. Alright, spells. 3 Tanky, 3 Combo Safer, 3 Goods for the 3 Perfumer, or Perfume. This is, unfortunately, not searchable by this. This says search a Lunalight. This is Luna Space Light, so this can't search it. But it's okay, because this is a Monster Reborn that in the same turn can ditch a card to search any of your Lunalights. So it lets you just get in there so quickly. This into this, or this into, and we'll get to it eventually, this. It's just so many easy starters that lets you just combo off without ever normally summoning. So, it's insane. This is why you play the deck, is because you never need to normal summon if you open these and don't get stopped. 1 Foolish, because Graveyard's a cool thing to play with. 1 Monster Reborn, because I like extending, and I also have this Lost Art that I don't know what to do with. Terraforming and Babel. I honestly don't know how to feel about this, because if you open both of them, it really sucks, but you just discard this from Mermaid, which you can say about any card, but that doesn't mean you should play every card. it doubles your chances of seeing Babel, and in this build I'm running this instead of usually in Pure I'd be running 2 Crescendo. So this doubles your chances of seeing Babel, so if you get into Babel, you can use Babel and then off of Orcust set Crescendo, and then you have the full board and you're almost unstoppable. Almost. Somebody did break that board today. Still won that match. Traps, 3 impermanents. This was the other card that got me deck check game lost because I had dual powers. And once again, when a set is all foil, foil is cheaper than normal, so they were super bent. And if they were bent enough to be cheating, I guess I'm the worst cheater in the world because I never opened this card.
Damn.
I probably drew this card 1 time all day, which is actually insane. Or I should say, I drew it going first 1 time, or going second 1 time all day where it wasn't my last card, or my 6th card. But it's okay because luckily this is not Valor, so I drew it and I went target Colossus. 2 matches in a row that saved me from losing just everything. 1 Crescendo, it's Crescendo. It's Judgment that banishes, and then banishes to search one of your other dudes. This searching into like your little Orcust is what keeps this deck alive, because once you Orcust once, you can't Orcust again because it's not pure. This lets you Orcust again. And then, okay, Sonata Dance. So basically, this card, when you fusion summon, gives your opponent a 2k token, and then the fusion monster gets a 500 attack for everything your opponent controls. It's completely irrelevant. When it's in your graveyard, which you send it by Foolish Burial of Goods, you can banish it as a cost. And then, on resolution, discard a card, or send a card from your hand to the graveyard since you don't get dangers, and summon any of your Lunalights from your deck. This is the premier Foolish Burial target. If you already opened it, you just Foolish Burial into Perfume. Perfume, discard this to search one, and then, or you search the Tiger, and then something else in your hand, discard this to summon Kaleido, and then you have full combo without normal summoning. That's the main. Hi, Jimmy.
How's it going?
What's up?
KGT.
This is the man who completely destroyed my hopes and dreams.
Yeah, so I'm his 1 game loss. I gave him a I gave him a game loss for marked cards in the middle of the event.
Yeah, it was so rough. But
I can't help that you try to cheat.
No,
Prove me wrong.
I didn't draw them.
Prove me wrong.
I didn't draw them.
I like your common. What was it? What was the card?
Yeah, my Kaleidos that I had to.
Yeah, the Kaleidos that are now common.
Get out of here. Okay, extra deck. So I played this. This goes along with the Zephyros. Don't play this. I'm probably gonna cut this and find another thing not to play for the fusions because they just seem more fun and they seem to OTK better. So if you want my personal opinion, take this and then find something you don't like in here out for the Leo and Panther, and then replace the Zephyros with the one that lets you fuse from Pendulum. I can't remember its name. It's in the box here somewhere, but I'm not gonna grab it.
It's cool, it's cool.
Just because it literally, because it takes Panther and any 2, and Kaleido can send from your extra deck, so you send Panther, so Panther's in grave, and then any other 2, banish all 3 of them because the Pendulum lets you Miracle Fusion, and then you just summon a big 35 that can't be targeted or destroyed, attacks twice, and if it kills something, it destroys all special summon monsters your opponent controls.
That's insane.
So, Wolf is the one that lets you Miracle from Pendulum. So if you Wolf and you Boral Sword, which is very possible because you just use the material for Boral Sword and now you have 3 in graveyard because this deck spams out like crazy, and so you just go Boral Sword with Leo Dancer and you go 35, pop all your special summon monsters, 35, defense mode, 30-30.
Yeah.
It's absolutely disgusting. I should have played that instead of this because this engine is what lost me my last match. Dweller, it's the best rank 4. There's so many games that I didn't get my information on my opponent's deck because I did the Dweller Crescendo setup combo, and then I went standby phase, detached Dweller, and they went game 2. It's gold. It's always going to be gold. It's the best rarity. You're wrong if you think otherwise.
No staple card.
Yarla, as a thought. Jesus Christ. Okay, so I want to give a shout out to this kid, Alex, who told me to play these instead of doing this play. And going into the event today, I'm like, nah, I'm gonna try to like do this one if I can, but like this most of the time, or like 50-50. Yeah, I did that none. I did this every time, because this is so broken. This is actually the most disgusting thing, because you can't respond. I had somebody, I overlaid this, and they went, so what is it? I can't use, oh no, my side next to my hand. They're like, so I can't use monster effects after it resolved? I'm like, no, you just can't use monster effects, period. And they're like, okay, so I'm gonna win permanence. I'm like, no, it's been summoned. The condition is you don't get monster effects. And he's like, oh. And then I turned this into a mermaid, popped his only back row, or turned into a phoenix, popped his only back row. He's like, and he sat there while I like played out the whole thing and killed him. He's like, oh, I'm sorry, man. I would have skipped sooner if I realized you were just gonna murder me and I couldn't do anything about it. I'm like, yeah,
How
My
early
bad.
did you bring that out today?
How many times? Or every game I could. Literally, like I said, any game you could open the Kaleidoscope and the Tiger, you made this, and if you have an extender, you made full Orcust combo afterwards. It's disgusting. I don't know how much these cards were when they came out, but I picked these up for literally $2 each, and I topped
They
because
were a
of it.
lot less when they came out.
Really?
Yeah.
Or sorry, $2 total.
Yeah, way less.
Really?
Yeah, they've been quarters.
Really?
Yeah.
Buy these out.
like their entire
Somebody
life.
buy these out. Wait for me to buy
Like this card
five
was like
of them, but then buy
maybe
them out.
like a full $1 back in February.
Then you're just
Christ.
gonna make it hype.
Do it. To Dingirsu. Shout out to some dudes that came into my OTS from Italy who got me a European one that's first ed. It's really nice. Did I say Italy or did I say Dingirsu? Oh, I said Italy. Okay. This card's insane. So I recently learned that I have to declare which of the two effects I'm using, but I don't have to declare what I'm sending, which is obvious, or what I'm attaching, which is also really cool. So,
You really want to make yourself sound like an idiot on camera?
yeah.
Congratulations, you
Oh,
win.
to make me sound like more of an idiot, so before this event, my vendor friend was like, do you need anything for the regional? I'm like, well, I'm kind of already set, but if you can find me a Serenade Dance, which is a $1 super rare from a set nobody opened, I'll probably play Lunalights. Right before my shift ends, he comes up to me, and he's like, here you go. And I'm like, oh no. He's like, that means you're playing Lunalights for the regional, right? And I'm like, hell yeah.
That's an interesting
So-
story.
And the reason why I bring this up is because I tested with my friends before my shift. I went to my shift and I came back and I'm like, okay guys, I have a completely new build I have to test now. And they're like, well, we want to go to bed. So my friend Alex once again comes through with one test game, taking total of what, 20 minutes. And then I'm like, yeah, it's good enough. I'll take it to the regional. And now I have 11th, so that's cool. Two Dingirsu. Got another new Dingirsu, but we're there. Mermaid, Phoenix, Cerberus. I'd love to play a second one. There's just actually no room. If you're going blind first, use this one first. That's just the best thing I can say. Just because this comes up so much more in so many more matchups than this does. Although this outed 2 duos today, not just one. I don't know why I deal with duos so much. Galatea, Bay. Shout out to those same Italian dudes. These are Europeans. They didn't have this one though, which is actually my favorite one. Longirsu. This card is disgusting. Because this card, with this card, outs just 2 things you shouldn't be able to out most of the time. So you just go effect, recycle my own resources, send your thing to graveyard, please. Send your thing to graveyard, please. I'd like to kill you. And that's what it does. You can't attack the same turn and use it. Shout out to that. Chisbania. This is for strikers. This is for stun, which I only went against one of them, and I never got to summon this because I literally just got to the point where I went Symbol, Kaleido, and something else, and I just went attack, 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 go ahead. And he had full set back row, and he went effect of spoofing, shuffle something back. I went cost, ashed him. And the next turn I went attack, attack, attack. He drew again, he's like effect of spoofing, shuffle, I went ash. And he's like, oh. So I just literally caveman Yu-Gi-Oh'd him down with like 17 or 14
You can't play
constantly.
Yu-Gi-Oh!
If you're gonna stop me from playing Yu-Gi-Oh, I'm gonna stop you from playing Yu-Gi-Oh.
True.
It's really good. I never went against, what's that one deck called? True Drago. But this would have been Godsend against True Drago, just because it banishes them instead of destroys them. They just don't get anything, and they start taking 5, which is pretty cool. I like just punching my opponent twice with something that shouldn't be legal. So, attack, go to 4K, attack again. Oh, it turns into defense mode, attack again. It's just so good. This card's so good. The fact that it's dark is so good because you constantly get locked in the dark. So as you can tell, a lot of the Lunalights are darks, which is kind of helps. But getting locked in the dark doesn't really hurt when your main win condition is dark and dark. That's the extra deck. Side deck. So my side deck's actually the exact same as Alex's. I'm not even gonna front on you guys. It's Prankatops, it's Nibiru, it's Mind Control, it's Twin Twister. It's 2 things I can never draw, and then the one thing I drew twice.
True. Has anyone play around this card or not really?
So I'd love to tell you, but I never drew it.
You never drew it?
No, I never drew it. So I'd love to, like, literally, I sight in all these cards, and the only thing I actually drew today, I drew, like, a Prankatops. I drew this twice today. I did draw this one, so this thing's insane. This thing wins so many games. When I made that Azathoth, when I Azathoth Phoenix, what I started with was this, target 2 back row, Azathoth, so he couldn't float into Ray, and then Phoenix the last back row. And that was this game. And then he's like, and then I comboed off and killed him. He's like, oh, I thought I would just scooped it. You were just gonna murder me. It's a pretty standard side deck. It works against just about everything. The These things in theory are amazing against Striker because you just flip them, you send one of your dudes that you're just going to bring back next turn with Symbol Skeleton, you rip all their spells, and hopefully they don't out you.
And it's all like an auto win, basically.
Yeah, it can be. It's never an auto win. Nothing is ever an auto win. Unless it's Dweller against like Striker, or not Striker, Dweller against Orcust, and their hand is like all dangers, and you make them hit all the dangers so they can't get their effects. And yeah, my round 4 or 5 opponent was really salty.
Yeah, I can tell. But yeah, thank you for the deck profile. Congrats on 11 plays, 3 spots away from a top 8. Before ending this video, would you like to give any credit to anyone?
3 major shoutouts. One obviously to my vendor friend who was able to get me the one card I needed to actually play this deck. So shout out to Harrison for being the best, okay, he doesn't like being called a vendor, the best trader this side of the Mississippi. Shout out to my friend group, Alex for testing with me at like 11 at night when I have a crackpot theory of yo, listen, Lunalights, right? So he tested me with one game, and that's all it took for me to be like, yeah, I really want to play this game. And finally, shout outs to my boss, Brian, who was able to arrange plans for me to actually get today off to be able to play and get my invite. Thank you, Brian. I'm going to show you this video.
Or is that all? Or,
that's it.
Alright, Cyberhorn Nitro is signing out. Peace. Okay, go, start.
You never gave me a single ruling. I never called judge.
So it's backwards, but yeah.
rulings to everybody else.
I never called
Shout out
judge.
to Oscar for doing the ruling. So you want to explain about the story a little
So
bit?
you want to hear the funny
I just gave good rulings. No one ever appealed my
He's about
shit.
to use my deck for his
Thank you for your
profile.
time, and it's Cyberhorn Nitro signing out.